Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Ready? Lisa!
Big night here at AfterBuzz TV as we celebrate the big win of Lisa Gibbons for the Celebrity Apprentice.
And that deserves... Ready?
Yes.
Yay! Lisa! We are... Can you tell that we're excited that our girl Lisa won?
We're very happy, and we had the pleasure of having her sit right here in this chair, and
right there.
I wish she could have told us what we know now. Obviously, she didn't know at the time, but I mean, we knew. You know, if we knew she was going to make it to the final two, we knew where it was going.
And we called this on the very first episode of our after show. I would just like to remind everybody, we knew this was going down. We knew we'd be popping champs to Lisa.
For our girl Lisa, we said it.
I always said that she should win. I didn't know if she would win, but now we know that justice is served. Everything is good in the world, and Lisa Gibbons is the new Celebrity Apprentice and the second female Celebrity Apprentice. So that's a great thing right there.
Honestly, I could not have picked a better person to follow Joan Rivers than Lisa.
Right?
She's well-deserved, and you don't want to mess with a girl who has passion.
Right.
Because the passion she had to share her mom's story kept her going, and it was obvious that, I mean, like we said from the very beginning, we knew that she was going to win, and it was amazing. I just could not be more proud of her, and I'm so happy for her because this is for a great cause.
We screamed so loud that we interrupted the after show that was going on while we were watching that.
Right. Yeah, so let's talk about the reunion, basically, that we saw of all the people coming back, and it's always a little rushed to me. Like, I want to see a little bit more people. Like, I think, like, they really should have let Gilbert just go. I wanted to see more of him, but they gave a lot of airtime to Kenya. He kept kind of going back to her and asking her, like, you're a good person, right? Like, you know, tell me what you think. They were giving her a little bit too much at this point.
Here you go.
Thank you.
All right, cheers,
Let's actually
everyone.
start it off with a little toast. Yes, this is to our girl Lisa Gibbons.
And Lisa's Care Connection.
Yes. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. Well
you all at home
deserved.
are imbibing with us.
Yes.
Celebrating.
Yes.
Hopefully you guys screamed as loud as we did because my throat might be gone tomorrow.
I know, right? But this is what we've been waiting for the entire season, is this final moment. We were all sitting, eyes glued to the TV, on the edges of our seats, and that's how it should be when you invest that much time in something. And we really did want to love the outcome.
Right.
We would not have loved the outcome had it been different.
We might not have popped our champagne.
We might have started drinking before.
Exactly.
Well, now, everyone at home, and of course we have the chat roll here, so give us some comments and feedback. We hope you're as excited as we are. But I want to know, were you kind of, a little anxious throughout watching this? I admittedly was a little nervous and was like, uh-oh, that's not good. Or like thinking like, uh-oh, like I was jumping to all these conclusions and being really like on edge because I was really watching how he behaved with the two of them, how the packages were edited, how he interacted and what his children said. I was like, oh no, like, and when she won the task, which was well deserved, I was like, uh-oh, is this going to be a situation where Lisa wins the task, but her buddy Geraldo's going to win the whole thing? But no, so I was wrong. Good.
I kind of thought Trump was like trying to give everyone who wanted Lisa to win, and Lisa like just a little tidbit, like, oh, okay, here you go, you can win the task. And that was announced so awfully too, by the way. We were like, wait, what? Did he just say that she won the task? Oh boy, we thought we missed something.
Yeah, I just think it was she deserved it. I mean, even the ratios, I wrote it down.
Right, yeah.
Lisa
Give us the stats,
won 8, lost 3. Geraldo, on the other hand, only won 4, lost 7. He might have raised more money, but that shows. I mean, if you have lost more than you've won, that means a lot.
And you don't deserve to win.
Right. Yeah. And also, Lisa said that she had never been called back into the boardroom. Never.
Yeah.
So that means even when the 3 times that they did win or did lose, she was
had no
always
fault in it.
Yeah, she was always a star player.
And she ended his 5 losing streak.
Exactly. So she won the task. Her stats were incredible. She had passion behind it. You know, the whole time.
How could you not be rooting for her, right?
The whole time I just was like, if Trump does not choose her, then I will be pissed. I will have my pissed face on and my fingers crossed.
We won't be watching that next season that he already announced.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, let's like give Geraldo a little bit of credit, because I'm curious to see if really it was the editing itself that has really brought us to kind of. It seems like a lot of people that really weren't on his team, and I feel like we saw a different side of him in tonight's episode. So I kind of want to give him some credit. I mean, he did make it to the end, and they both were very good competitors in certain ways, but you're right, the stats do not lie, and I believe the right person did win. But I don't know, I mean, after tonight, has your opinion on Geraldo changed at all? I know we definitely have kind of said some things against him throughout the season. What do you think?
He did kind of try to pull out the tears, and he did show genuine enthusiasm for his charity. And when they went to visit, that was really a great moment. But it was still sort of like a fake cry, like the Real Housewives do. Like, oh, I'm crying, but there's no tears. I don't know where my tears are.
Yeah.
So it would have taken a lot for me to kind of cross that line back over into like Geraldo fan land, and
Right.
it didn't happen for sure.
He has too much ego. It's too much about Geraldo. I personally would have a really hard time working with someone like that.
Mm-hmm.
And his pink glasses, I cannot see. I can't even look at them one more time.
He sees the world through rose-colored
Especially
glasses.
when he pulls off his rose-colored glasses, wipes his fake tears, and puts them back on. I was like, okay, buddy, you're not even a good actor, so.
Damn, no love lost for Geraldo.
I'm sorry, but he was on my last nerve.
And having to relive those moments, like the selfie thing, and they just reminded us why we weren't rooting for him.
Right.
I don't ever need to see this older gentleman in his underwear ever again.
Yeah, and he even said that he is proof positive that an older guy can still get it up. Okay, that image that I got in my head is something I never wanted up there.
He genuinely thinks he is sexy.
Yeah,
like he thinks he is a hot guy.
He thinks that beard is gonna get ladies.
Let's talk about something that could definitely be controversial, or something to talk about, when he said that Lisa was high functioning. What was that?
I like how everyone started laughing.
Yeah, did you catch that?
Yeah, I did, and I still don't quite know what to make of it. Does he mean she's a high-functioning woman? Like, was that a sexist remark that we need to get on?
I think he meant
I'm just kidding, everybody.
I think he meant good at like multitasking. Good at a bunch of different roles. Maybe.
Yeah, normally a word that you use for somebody who has some sort of disability.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever. If that was his last-ditch attempt to like throw shade while not throwing shade, we saw right through it, honey.
No, I think he just said the wrong thing under the pressure of a live show. I'll defend him there, but I mean, Lisa's just so classy that he could have called her this bitch next to me, and she would have just continued to smile.
Her smile is so gorgeous. Every time she smiles, it's just, it's beautiful. I love her.
And she does just look so good. She's one of those ladies who hasn't overdone it with the crazy face things, and we see a lot of that on the show with the aging ladies, and she just always looks so phenomenal. And the outfit and the hair, it's just like that's who you want to see on TV.
Right. Even when she first walked in tonight, she stopped and acknowledged the audience.
Yes.
And that shows that it's not just about her. Like Geraldo walked in, he was like, yeah, I got this in the bag. Like, I'm gonna win this thing. She walked in and she was so happy to see everyone there supporting her and acknowledge the audience and thank Donald Trump. She just she's someone that I think a lot of us look up to.
Right.
And the definition of a class act.
Oh, for
Everyone
sure.
says that about her all the time, and now when I hear that phrase, she's the first person I think of.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's look at these tasks for what they were, and let's mainly just analyze what I want to just get into those videos, because they are different and they're different respects, and I just want to kind of discuss, we had already mentioned that we thought Lisa had a better idea and that we were kind of thrown off by Geraldo having to be this reporter, but now that we saw the final product, I think we kind of felt the same, right?
For sure.
I mean, it wasn't anything. Geraldo's wasn't anything really. It was very amateur. Like that was my note. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, this is something like I could have done very easily.
Another Geraldo news report.
Yeah, and I didn't really get the whole thing of him like escorting these kids around, and it just, I don't know, to me the videos were very short, so it's almost like you need to have a very simple execution and a simple storyline, because what was it, like a minute each? Not even?
Yeah.
So you can't be telling a real story. It's buzzwords. Just get them out and get as much in there, show as much as you can.
Right.
And listen, you cannot have a mustache like that and be dragging kids around Universal or wherever without their parents. Okay? People are going to ask questions.
I was just gonna say, it kind of came out creepy when he's holding those kids' hands and like skipping into this arcade or whatever. That was kind of creepy. But he also, when kids go to an amusement park, they don't want to be toured around. They want to be just
On a
like
roller coaster.
Yeah, just like Lisa's commercial. They want to be free and doing their own thing and no agenda, not having to follow someone around. Just having fun.
Right.
So,
And the big point kind of was having fun with the family.
Right.
You know, not separating the adults and the kids. And they just, Lisa's commercial epitomized that. It was like, look at this family having so much fun. And obviously, the whole thing about creating special memories, their commercial indicated that so well, with the dad who wanted to just stick by the rules and have it, you know, be the same as their day-to-day at home, where he's making the rules and they follow a schedule. And she saw it differently and displayed it so well. I mean, the point came across so well.
Yeah, with Geraldo not seeing the parents really involved at all in this family trip was, I said right away, I said, well, on one side we've got a family on a family trip at a family amusement park, and then on the other side, Geraldo's doing way too much.
yeah, the family's like ditching their kids. It's not.
But he was just doing way too much. And then once they stopped the editing, and he's like, well, now we need to worry about the real big stuff, the money and the booking. And this is what I said last week. I was like, well, you should have sat down and done that and not put yourself in the video. Use your time more wisely. I mean, but he wanted to take full control, and he did. I mean, after that, we didn't see too much input, even from Ian. Not much happened.
I think Geraldo wanted the musical act to be an afterthought so that they wouldn't have time to get somebody and he could sing himself. He wanted so bad to be up there singing. He got to do it anyway, even though they have this incredibly famous, apparently, guy I'm not incredibly familiar with, but a big famous singer up there, and he's grabbing the mic and woo-hooing along.
Yeah.
I mean, he wanted that so bad. And when that's what you're focused on, when you're supposed to be thinking about this task and raising money for charity and winning the whole thing, of course.
Honestly,
it was going to bite the dust.
When Geraldo was up there with that guy,
Tony Orlando. Doesn't that sound like a Vegas performer?
Singer Tony Orlando. Whose name we can't even remember. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm just not familiar with his work. I'm just not familiar with his work, but he sounds like a Vegas performer. But I'm sure we'll get plenty of hate. Tony, good for you. Good for you. Go ahead.
I don't think any of his fans are on Twitter. I wouldn't worry about it.
I think we'll be okay. But when he was up there with Tony Orlando and he was sharing his story, it was very touching, but the connection with Geraldo was not authentic. It seemed fake. It seemed pushing. He was trying to use it as leverage, to get that emotion out. And then Lisa went up there and just shared her story, and you could tell that she was just holding it all inside.
She didn't have to cry.
Honestly, I had tears in my eyes. I had goosebumps and tears in my eyes just watching it. And so that's the difference, is that Lisa was authentic the entire show. And Geraldo was just Geraldo trying too hard.
To be authentic.
Yeah.
Trying to seem like he was authentic.
Right.
Well, what I love to do is break down the positives and negatives of these tasks and who won. And if you missed it, because everything went by so quick, we've got you covered here.
Yeah.
So let's start with Geraldo. Basically, the positives, and I know you took some notes as well, so feel free to jump in. The positives with Geraldo was that they like the theme, discover your inner hero. And that there was some celebrity integrated, which I understood that. I said, okay, yeah, it's good to see like Vivica standing there, with her husband, with someone, a day player. And then basically the negatives was that it was disjointed to the presentation.
Right.
Anything else that I missed?
And also the fact that the parents and the children were separate.
Right.
It was a family. It was supposed to be a family adventure, a family commercial, and they were not together the whole time.
Right.
So that was one of the cons.
Right.
And the Be Your Own Hero thing was really good.
It was.
If they would have formed their commercial around that, I think maybe Lisa would have had a little bit harder time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know why he opened that video with "This is Geraldo Rivera reporting."
And as Harry Potter, I mean, why Harry Potter? Like, That was so random.
But what is he reporting? He's with kids, showing them around the park. He's either doing an instructional video or he's like being a part of the atmosphere. Like, it was just like, why are you reporting? No one's reporting at an amusement park.
Exactly.
He gets that newscaster voice on and the very hosty delivery, and you're just like, Geraldo's reading lines again. Sounded like he was reading a teleprompter.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no passion in that. Come on.
I know. Although I have to just say really fast that I loved that the last two people standing were TV hosts. Come on,
Yeah.
you guys. We're in the right industry, right?
Right?
And we can drink at our jobs.
Yes. So let's cheers one more time to Lisa.
Yes.
And the newscasters, yay!
And to all the TV personalities out there.
Right. Well, if you're
all winners.
If you're keeping tabs on how much Lisa really did run, Joseph on our chat roll here said that Lisa did a good job raising $714,000 for her charity. So
That's amazing.
that's a big total for someone who claims she wasn't really interested in doing the show and she almost backed out.
Yes.
I mean,
she told
talk
us
about
that exclusively when she was our guest here.
Right, and talk about making a difference. You know, she was like, does it really make, she called up like Holly Robinson Pete and was like, does it make a difference? I mean, there's your answer.
Right, exactly.
You know, great.
And once again, it shows that you can be nice, you can be kind. If you have passion, good things will happen to you. You know, you don't have to be mean, you don't have to be backstabbing, you don't have to be Geraldo, like super egotistic. You can just be nice and be yourself and have that passion, and it'll get you in the right spot.
Right.
And if you are intelligent and a good business person, you can thrive in this game without using all the underhanded dirty tactics.
Right.
Joe thinks that the
play
two
a
of
clean
you
game.
want to be in season 15 of Celebrity Apprentice.
That is a fantastic idea, Joe. Thank
Nominate
you.
us.
Right?
And just to kind of flip things around, Nick Money here says Lisa wouldn't be able to manage a company while I felt Geraldo would be able to. So this kind of goes back to the whole Apprentice thing. You know, if you rip off Celebrity, I mean, you know, does it make a difference? Who knows?
Lisa does run a company. She runs Lisa Gibbons Enterprises, and she also runs Lisa's Care Connection.
Right. I think the numbers stand for themselves, and I think the stats that you read off, Jessica, are, you know, kind of prove otherwise. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Luckily, neither of these people are really running Trump. So
100%. Yes, thank you for your commentary, but 100% Lisa can run a company, and that would be a bomb.com company.
Oh, they're very Team Lisa, if you were wondering. No, it's a good thing. And so let's talk about Lisa, the positives for her video and the presentation as well. They really enjoyed her voiceover. You know, a seasoned professional who wouldn't.
How could you not? Her voice is amazing.
Right. It covered a lot of experiences, and the presentation was tied in well, basically, with the use of Olivia Newton-John and showing kind of the memory tie-in.
Right.
So, I mean, it was great. I mean, I think the editors even had a hard time finding negatives.
Yeah, and they even said
they tried.
that in the commercial, she also really featured everything the park has to offer. You know, they showed the family together, the parents off by themselves laying by the pool while the kids did their own thing. It showed all the aspects of the park.
It was well-rounded.
Yeah, very on point.
I mean, the negatives were minimal at most. It was they wanted to see more celebrity integration and kind of where people went, more like engaging. But I mean, I don't know how that can offset. They covered a lot of experiences.
I think that honestly, they were just trying to come up with a con.
Right.
Because just like you said, one of their pros was that she showed how much the park had to offer, and then one of the cons was that the story, you couldn't really get into the story with the dad to show how much the park has to offer.
Yeah, that's minimalistic.
So that's pretty much a made-up criticism.
Right.
Like, and if you're pulling out Olivia Newton-John, honey, you're a winner in my book. Exactly. No matter what happens. I mean, we can't even remember the other guy's name, and it's Olivia freaking Newton-John.
Yeah, and it tied in so perfectly. She sang memory, and her whole thing was about creating memories and remembering those memories, and her charity. So the whole package was amazing.
And Olivia Newton-John was rocking leather pants, or probably faux leather, because she's like that.
Right.
And at that age, if I'm still rocking the faux leather, I'm going to be on television too.
Exactly.
I wanted to see more of the presentation. I wanted to see more of them kind of getting out there and getting donations and seeing how both of the project managers manage their team to be able to continue to basically network and raise money until the very end. I felt like that was kind of glossed over, but we moved so quickly on the show. It's already over. It's been 6 weeks. So
I know. It's gone by so fast.
So fast. But it was a really good season overall, and I feel like I've seen a lot of the fools, all the different celebrities that have come on. Now, let's talk about some of the things that were kind of happening throughout the night. Trump couldn't have screwed up Keisha's name any worse.
Oh my gosh.
Him and Geraldo are in a contest for who can screw up everyone's names the worst.
Seriously.
I'm sorry, but names are so important in business and entertainment and even just customer service. Trump should know better. This is someone who was on his show in Trump Tower, someone who's like a household name, pretty much, we could say. There's really no excuse for that. And then to call attention and not even let the girl speak, it was just messy.
Well, then when he went back to her to ask her to pronounce it correctly, he so awkwardly said, "That's right," when she said it correctly as if he was telling her how to say her own name.
Right, good job.
And then she was trying to thank him for giving her the opportunity to raise money for her charity, which is her own charity, unlike a lot of the others. Yep. And he cut her off completely. It really was kind of another moment.
Yeah.
She did look good, though. And it was really fun to see everybody back.
I was just going to say that a lot of them really looked good. I mean, Brandy, girl, you looked hot. I mean, sexy. You looked amazing.
I think that was like a 50 Shades of Grey inspired ensemble, right? It was like a lot of netting and straps and things.
And her shoes matched her dress perfectly with her curly hair. Loved everything. Yeah. Ivanka, I need to know where you got that dress.
I wonder if that's part of her line.
Trump collection.
Yeah.
It's probably out of my budget, but I'm curious to know. You looked amazing, so poised, so sophisticated.
Feel free to send us both one, Ivanka.
Yeah.
In coordinating colors, preferably.
And I'll take a tie from the Trump collection at Macy's.
Well, and I just love to hear Ivanka speak. We didn't see her quite as much this season as we have some others, and it just all attention goes to her. She doesn't have to speak out kind of like Lisa. Right. She doesn't have to be crazy or be this huge personality. She's not quite as big of a personality as her famous father.
Right.
But every time she opens her mouth, I just want to listen.
Yeah. She actually does. Her personality reminds me a lot like Lisa's.
Yeah.
She keeps to herself, poised, sophisticated, yet very intelligent. Is very focused. So I think they're a lot alike.
Right.
Well, and in a world where a lot of reality TV is women sort of tearing each other down and being sort of nasty and doing the Kenya stuff, it's just always so refreshing to see Ivanka.
Yes.
Right. Well, let's talk about Kenya because there's some comments here from earlier.
What are people saying?
And basically, nothing's been resolved with this phone. And I knew that Kenya was not going to admit to anything. She was just going to take that time that they asked her the question to say something stupid.
Girl, we all know you are lying. Everybody knows you're lying.
Yeah.
Set it straight.
She should have, because that will get more people talking if after all this time she, admitted to it. But just continue to roll with the same lie doesn't make anything newsworthy.
Yeah.
Especially
it gives
when
us
you can't
nothing.
say it with a straight face. She sits there with that incriminating smile on her face and you're like, girl, you are not fooling anybody.
I love how whenever Kenya's in an awkward situation, she just mentions her charity. She's like, I'll just get out of it by saying how happy I am.
Not a bad strategy.
Yeah. And then how Vivica was like, well, when she starts using her hands, she's lying.
Dead on.
Boom. You tell her, girl.
Vivica has put her in her place so many times, and that's super refreshing.
And she doesn't even look at her direction, which I love.
No.
Melissa Stewart says, I'm so over this Phonegate thing, especially since someone won't admit it. Shake my head and ha ha LOL.
Yeah.
That's right, girl.
And then Joseph says, I am thinking that maybe Kenya was using this Phonegate to give her a good storyline for Atlanta Housewives since she filmed her season when she was filming that. So that, who knows? Maybe I just think if Kenya get in a feud with someone at the level of any stardom, even someone like Vivica, she's gonna go for it. She loves that.
Right.
So let us know what you think about all of this.
None of us will be surprised if we see Vivica Fox making a little cameo on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
No kidding.
She's all of a sudden Nene's friend or something.
Yeah, exactly.
NBC, Bravo are brother networks, and I will not be surprised when I see that promo on Bravo. And next time on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and oh old nemesis visits Kenya. Does she have her phone?
I think
Will she go?
I think Vivica's a huge winner in this whole season because I am seeing her on TMZ. I'm seeing her in the press. She's got work coming up. She's really highlighted her. And she's definitely one of those people that kind of stood out, which is interesting. And I think I've actually grown a tremendous amount of respect for her. I sound like Trump now, but I mean, I really like her from this series, this season, and I hope to see more of her.
I like her too. I think she's a great leader. And when she came back today, she looked
Oh my gosh, so
incredible.
good.
I mean, she looked so good. I'm happy for her, and I watched her interview on the Today Show after she left. And I wrote down a few little things here.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't really say much, but she did say how much she loved being on the show. And she said that she related the show as a beautiful business soap opera unfold. She's like, it's not staged, it's very real. I mean, when you're under that pressure that you want to succeed in your task, you forget that the cameras are there. And they also pointed out that she had just attended a fashion gala, and her nipples were showing.
Oh, God.
And I just have to say that today her
wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, wardrobe malfunction. It's okay, girl. We all have them. But I have to say that today your sisters were still out, but you were looking bomb.
Yes.
Oh, her
She
boobs
was
were out.
so good.
Her boobs were all over that set.
Grant was digging me.
No, she looked good.
Yeah, she did.
She did. And I'm sure you guys probably remember in our first few after shows, we were getting on her a little bit. Remember, she was crying all the time.
Yeah.
She was going to get through this.
She was up Geraldo's ass from the very beginning, and I was like, ooh, please. Ooh, let's go.
And she really learned, I think, to stand her ground and be an individual in the boardroom and speak her voice. And yeah, like you, I've become a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do like her honesty and the fact that she said, these two people, they deserve to be there.
Yeah.
They deserve to be the final two, and I admire her honesty.
I usually hate when people go out like that, sort of like the Lorenzo thing, but for her, it did seem appropriate.
Right.
It did seem like the right thing to do.
Because it was authentic. You can tell that she really did think that.
She said she was a realist, so... Did anybody notice that one Olympian was missing from this panel? There was someone MIA.
Not until you mentioned it, honey. Do you remember the name?
I did
remember
notice.
which one it was?
I don't remember which one. But see, I do know. I got hate for this. And look, I noticed them. I noticed the two. One of them was missing.
You
so.
did notice that, actually.
And it was Sean who was missing.
Okay.
I wonder why. Maybe if we check her Twitter or something, we'll see what she said. I mean, she can't be that busy, right?
Maybe she was
I hope she is.
doing a little backflip somewhere.
Maybe
There's a lot of snow out there in New York. There's a lot of snow out there. Is she the gymnast or the snow one?
She's the gymnast.
Oh, shoot. Oh my God, I'm not even kidding.
Well, there is a lot of snow out there. Half the United States is covered in snow right now. So
I will forever give up on trying to differentiate the two.
And now you never have to again.
I wish you well. Terrell was there. Terrell, whoever the hell he is.
Terrell, according to Trump.
Yeah, and they were like, "Are you ever going to play football again?" And he's like, "Oh, maybe next year." Like it was like, why? And then it reminded me how little he really did on the show. I mean, he really didn't do anything.
no.
Listen,
nothing.
just keep walking red carpets in Hollywood, Terrell. We like interviewing you.
Hey, Sig wasn't there.
Oh, good of a catch up.
See, I remember Sig.
And we didn't even notice until just now.
Right? Oh my God, I had
So
no
that
idea.
maybe says even more.
He probably was so over it. He probably didn't even give a damn.
Maybe they didn't even care to have him. Or he's probably shooting
He's
his
probably
reality
shooting.
show.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
probably shooting his show. But,
Oh my gosh, so funny. We actually did not even pay attention to that until right now.
No, he's probably embarrassed too because of how he flipped out on that boat throwing paper cups.
That was embarrassing.
I don't know if he has the good sense to be
Tantrum.
embarrassed, but he should be.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, let's move on to some quick news and gossip, shall we?
Sure, I got a couple of things.
Oh, great. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Well, all right, we're going to talk about Phonegate. I know you guys said you're so over it, but one more time, one more little detail for you. Apparently, Kenya and at that boardroom kept trying to bring her phone into the boardroom, which apparently is not allowed. It was because she had a screenshot of Vivica's tweet, and she was going to out the tweet. So we know this was a whole orchestrated thing. And also, Kenya keeps referring to the fact, how could I do that? You know, phones have passcodes, blah, blah, blah. Vivica's saying, I don't have a passcode on my phone, honey. I trust the people I'm around. I hand it to my makeup artist or to my assistant to send an email on my behalf. And so there was no passcode. Stop using that as a fake excuse. What else we got? Well, I was going to talk about her little wardrobe malfunction, but we got that all covered.
We got that covered.
You can see the photos online. She did say that she took photos in like the hair and makeup room, and you couldn't see, so you don't have to feel bad for her. I feel like a lot of times when that happens, it's deliberate. It's an attention ploy for the person, and we know that's not the case.
Right. She did check beforehand. It's just the dress moved a little.
Right.
But it was a gorgeous dress.
She did say either in the Stage Show interview or another interview. It was another interview I read where she said she did feel bad about bringing up Sean's little whole time of the month snafu, and she felt bad about that. So it was kind of interesting to see that she regretted that. Right. And one more little Vivica tidbit: she's coming out with a lingerie line. Everybody,
she's very busy.
Yes. She already has her hair extensions, which have been extended for another 3 years, and now she will be hawking lingerie to the tune of "Curvy Couture" by Vivica A. Fox.
We'll work that brand.
Well, I'm gonna need to check that. After seeing 50 Shades of Grey, I got a few tricks under my sleeve.
Well, speaking of Sean that you mentioned in the news and gossip portion, we might as well mention that Nick
changes the subject immediately.
No, I'm trying to keep it moving. Nick Money says that basically Sean was stuck in the Chicago airport.
Is that true? Nick Money with the deets. Thank you.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. She must have tweeted out, or maybe this is just an insider. Oh, well, yeah.
Hey, like you said, there's snow everywhere.
There is a link in the chat roll, so there's your source.
Oh, Nick Money got us covered with sources. I love it. You guys have been awesome.
You even said she's probably caught in the snow somewhere, and she was.
True that.
Well. Yeah, I did say it was snowy out there, and she's not doing Olympics or gymnastics.
Can we maybe take a second to acknowledge our chat rollers, the people who've been tweeting us and using the hashtag and joining us every week? I don't think any of my other after shows have the kind of following that this one has had, and people interacting with us. And I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed hearing all of your input. And I know we sit here, you guys have to sit and listen to us give our opinions for an hour. So we really appreciate that you're giving us your opinions back. And sometimes you guys know things that we don't, and that's really fun. So thank you for going along on this ride with us.
Yes, thank you guys.
Cheers to you, the fans.
You guys made it very fun for us.
Absolutely.
We love doing this. I'm kind of sad that it's over.
I know.
It went by so fast.
Right.
But hey, we now know that there's another season coming up.
So with that, let's predict.
Yes. Okay, because I have a good one. I am all over this.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV
predictions. I think that after the success of the very first episode and the way that the ratings dwindled a teeny bit after he left, I am guaranteeing that there will be another Jonas brother on next season of The Celebrity Apprentice. I am positive. I would go to Vegas and place my bets. You will see. What are the other ones? Nick or Joe.
Nick, Joe,
right?
Yeah.
And I know Nick's singing career is super hot right now, so it probably won't be him.
Yeah, probably
Maybe
not.
you'll see Joe Jonas.
Ooh.
Do you love him as much, or is it just about Kevin?
I love Kevin.
Okay.
Kevin,
Watch it, Danny.
Yeah, Kevin, you were like, it's getting hot in here.
They definitely need to pick up some younger celebrities, and I think that's the direction they're going to go. However, I said this a few weeks ago. I don't want to see a season of kids either, though. I don't want to see a bunch of 20-somethings. So I hope that it's a mix. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that we can lower the demo a little bit with some, some fresher names. But I do get that this, like Dancing with the Stars, sometimes it's like one of those vehicles that kind of like re-energizes people's careers. So people that fall in that tend to be kind of in the sunset of their careers or whatever, older. But but then again, that was not the case for Kevin.
No.
Right.
So we can.
But there are a lot of those celebrities, and I'm thinking like a Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Yeah, this is a good
really
show
great
for her.
One. She has such a following, and like Saved by the Bell and all that stuff coming back from the 90s is super hot right now.
Yeah.
And she looks good. She's trying to get herself out there. She could be another one. Grant, you had a really good housewife that you think could kill this. and I agree with you that I think she could win.
Yeah, well, it's my equal, Vicky Gunvalson.
The OG of the OC.
I mean, she runs that Kodo Insurance. I feel like she would be real good in the boardroom. Like, I feel like she wouldn't be afraid. And she's a successful lady. However, it's far from where her family is, and it's not an OC either.
But she'll do anything for some money and some notoriety.
Yeah, I feel like that would really be a good fit for her, you know, but she wouldn't really deliver on the catty side of things. And if that's what they're looking for from these housewives, then I don't know if she'd be the best choice. But I know Tamara would probably be interested in that, maybe.
I feel like they might be more likely to pick Tamara just because she is so polarizing and because she does cause a lot of drama on the show. I mean, after what happened with Kenny and Brandy, we are going to see some housewives next season.
Right.
As sure as you're going to see a Joe Bro, you're going to see a housewife or 2 or 3.
No,
it'd be kind of cool to see Juliana Rancic come in.
I would love it.
You know, because Bill was on it, and then I think it'd be cool, and also because Lisa, TV host, just won. I could see her doing it, and she's an entrepreneur. She's a great businesswoman.
I kind of feel like on one of the seasons of their show, she made some mention of that they wanted her to do it, or there's some kind of open invitation. You know, they're pretty close with the Trumps,
right?
And she actually attributes Donald Trump to being with Bill, and that she would never have anything in her life without him being on The Apprentice and everything. So I feel like that could happen.
Come on, girl, get on there.
Well, I was watching that 40th anniversary of SNL last night, and there's so many like NBC family related people and they always hired the 1 or 2 comics or big personalities, and I feel like they should pull someone from that world. I'm not saying put Eddie Murphy on the Celebrity Apprentice.
Maybe Kathy Lee Griffin.
Who's that?
You don't know?
Oh, from the Today Show.
Yeah.
That's Kathy Lee Gifford. Oh, okay.
Gifford.
I think it's about Kathy Griffin and Kathy Lee. I would love if they put Kathy Griffin on it, but I don't know if she's going to do it.
Because Trump even mentioned the Today Show.
That's true. And they all go on the Today Show. They love those
I could see one of them, but I mean, she would probably be hard for her to take it off. But
the time.
Yeah, I would love to see Rachel Dratch on this show because I think she'd be very funny, and I think that she's kind of a seasoned professional and just she's been out there for a while, and she'd be the funny relief for the show. She might not win, but I'd like to see her on there.
They need that though. Gilbert was such a little shining star with those little comedy moments. Even tonight when they showed the recap of all the funny things he said, I was rolling laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have that on a show that is so about the tense moments. You have to have those tension breaker moments to kind of build the drama.
Right. Even tonight, every time he spoke, it was a comedy. It was a relief.
Yes.
He's hilarious, that guy.
Grant is booming in the chat roll.
Nick Money is back with some. And this recommendation right here is Pam Anderson. Now that's someone who would fit that criteria.
Yes, that is so good. And she's just getting divorced again from what's his name? For the 5th time.
This chick's getting another divorce
Again. From the same guy that she's been married and divorced for 2 or 3 times.
Oh, give it up. But
and she apparently is looking to reinvent herself. Her friends are trying to
she got that haircut.
And I'd love to see how she would do.
I think Trump would love to have her in the boardroom.
Oh, for sure.
And I can definitely picture him being like, I think you've changed America's idea of you. You've changed, I'm very impressed by you. I highly respect you. And just hear it. He'd love it. He'd purse those lips. He'd love it. Right? I could picture her in a hot business suit with boobs out.
Yes. I could also see Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, God, yeah.
She would rock it, too.
She would, too.
And I feel like she'd be one of those ones that you wouldn't expect, but she would get really crazy and mean and, really underhanded and really play the game and say bad things about people. She does not have a filter on that.
I was just going to say, she's so honest that she would definitely bring great TV.
Well, they threw her off The View, so maybe she'd be game to do this.
And she's ready to stick it to ABC.
Yeah.
Look at me, I can go be on NBC.
Right.
That's true.
Are you listening, NBC executives? We are casting this show for you right now. The work is done. Done.
I'm just one person I'm not interested in seeing is Sherry Shepherd. I don't want to see her on the show.
No.
I'm not. That's one person I will put out there. Please, this is a woman who didn't know that the world was round. For a period of time. Like, I don't know if she's going to be the next Celebrity Apprentice up there with the likes of Joan and Pierce and now Lisa.
She's got to get her, like, whole divorce stuff figured out.
Yeah.
Like, she's got some surrogate issues going on.
I just have some hate towards The View. Sorry.
I'm surprised that you haven't mentioned no more Olympians.
Oh, well,
yes,
I mean,
please.
they're considered American heroes. I'll be killed. I don't have any interest. I don't care either way if they're there. Like, they definitely need to have their athlete quota, and I just feel like athletes aren't necessarily, they don't have the real personality for reality TV in general. And that's across the board, really. I mean, whether
They're
it's a
hard workers.
docuseries or whatever. Yeah, exactly. I just don't think they make for great television like someone like Joe.
Agreed.
Right, exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, we could do without the Olympians for
Yeah.
sure.
And also, I mean, not to be rude at all, but I just think that they don't really have that business mindset.
Well, Trump has admitted to that himself. He agrees with you. Yeah. He says that they burn out early, and they're just kind of like, their expectations are all over the place.
Yeah.
But it could be an assumption. I mean, they're definitely, what's the word I'm thinking of? There's something to every rule. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be anything. But
let us know what you guys think. I know we're getting some recommendations, but we're always eager to hear what you guys have to say. So let us know who you think should be casted.
Right.
And just because the show and the after show is over doesn't mean you can't tweet us anymore.
Yeah, keep the convo going.
Well, the convo is still going here. One last recommendation before we head out. But Michelle M1105 says that Patty from Millionaire Matchmaker could bring amazing drama. And that's a businesswoman in the NBC family.
Yeah, she is a smart cookie, that one.
That's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
And lots of personality, and she reads people so well because she's a matchmaker. She does the body language and everything.
They could do a lot with. They could
explosive.
They could really integrate her in different tasks too, really well. So, wow, we have some really good
the Bravo stars are more likely because NBC and them are all in the same family, as is E and a bunch of other cable networks. So, you could see anyone from those networks.
Right.
They're not maybe necessarily going to put someone who's a big figure on another network, but your NBC friends, like you were saying, are highly likely.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll do it for us. And, let's put it out there. Lisa's Care Connection, check it out if you're interested in that charity. And if you're interested in Geraldo's, you can take a look at his at Life's Work, WORC. Ladies, where can we find you online?
Everybody, please tweet me and tell me how excited you are. Use hashtag Team Lisa. It's at Christy Reports. It's been so fun chatting with you. I can't believe it's over. I'm really sad.
I know.
Take it away, Jessica. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna do the fake tear thing.
I'm gonna cheers one more to my girl Lisa, and thank you guys all for tuning in.
Okay.
Cheers. Cheers. You guys can find me at DressJessXO. Please continue the conversations with me. I love chatting with you guys. Let's be friends. Right?
You can find me on Twitter at Grants__rants. And with any luck, you can find me back here for the next season, whenever that will be. There's no date announced yet, but we know Trump will be back behind that desk soon enough.
Great season, guys.
Yes.
Thanks for watching with us,
Thank you,
everybody.
AfterBuzzers.
See you soon.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.